From cruising on a yacht in the Caribbean and partying all night in Ibiza to having a staycation at a five-star hotel while stopping briefly to shop in Paris, it seems like the fun never ends for social media influencers. But these are people that have preferred the art of showing you what they want you to see. There's a whole lot more to what meets the eyes. So, here are some interesting facts about influencers that will blow your mind. Fact 13 comes with some mental health battles. As social media influencers, your life is always an open book. It's very rough to keep secrets, and this sometimes comes with a lot of emotional pressure. Putting up a performance for the public can get really tiring, especially on those days when you run out of self-motivation. Being an influencer comes a lot of times with depression and anxiety because of the fast-paced environment. You see how common this is with celebrities, and it's no different with influencers, since they are basically living the same life of fame. So apart from making all that money from sacrificing their personal life and privacy, influencers have to take a lot of steps to manage their mental health. It's of course so they don't crumble under all that weight. Fact 12. Easy to get consumed by social media validation. Many social media influencers are so consumed by their online life that they think about it and what's going to look good on their story. They have moved on from being regular people who gain new experiences from themselves to those who just get them for content. It's a constant cycle of making yourself good enough for the world, especially on social media platforms like YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So although these influencers start out with making genuine content that reflects their personalities, it doesn't take long for them to start seeking social media validation, which leads them to advocate for things they don't really believe in. Sometimes, this can't be helped, especially when they have to spend hours in front of professional lighting kits that hurt their eyes while practicing every single line. It is exhausting and time-consuming, and it doesn't take long before the genuine connection to people is lost, and they're projecting what they are not. It takes a while for social media influencers to decide that they want to be real and chill while doing this for just themselves. Fact 11. Very difficult to disconnect online. Being an influencer is a serious business, just like any other job. However, it's even trickier because being online is their life, and it's not that easy to disconnect from the world. We all know how much toxicity can be found on social media platforms, especially from those trolls that make it their full-time job to make others miserable. For many of us, we can decide to shut down our phones and disconnect totally from the world, but influencers can't do this, so they have to plan their schedules to make sure that there is a balance between their personal and work life. Of course, this is also necessary to avoid burnout. Fact 10. To be successful, you must be consistent. If there's one thing that social media influencers have in common, it's that they post content consistently and keep you busy on their social media pages. They understand how easy it is for people to move on to the next interesting thing, and their popularity rides on keeping that attention for as long as possible. So the only way to make that happen is to consistently post quality content, because followers can turn against influencers easily when they don't meet up to this standard. Another major aspect of being an influencer is also the attention from both big and small brands. These businesses would also want to see the type of content they post and how frequently they do this before deciding to work with an influencer. Most influencers have a regular publishing schedule they stick to and work with this without sacrificing quality. Fact 9. The learning never stops. The influencer space is not a place that genuine social media stars can get away with not being knowledgeable on several topics. With how easy it is to verify information online, putting the wrong thing out to millions of followers could ruin their credibility. So for social media influencers, the learning process never stops. For the genuine ones that don't want to move towards bots and fake followers, which will eventually crash, they learn how to stick to topics they are passionate about and keep learning about them. Building credibility cannot happen without expertise, and successful influencers know this. Fact 8. They also have to learn a skill. Beyond the glitz and glamour of the social media influencer life, keeping the ball rolling is no easy task, and that's why all those vacation times where they're living the life at luxury beaches and five-star hotels are mostly well-deserved. Apart from creating compelling and attractive content within their niche, influencers usually need to have a bit of experience with writing, videography, or photography. Most times, you would see that a lot of them are also fashion icons or models, and these are skills they don't learn in a day. Apart from this, there is also the need for communication, planning, and time management skills. While they could hire professionals for some of these tasks, it's not easy to afford that quite early on in this profession. Fact 7. It's sustained with clout. Influencers can only remain relevant as long as their audience holds them in high regard, and a good way to make sure that they sustain this clout is by collaborating with other influencers both in and outside their niche. When they are acknowledged by other influencers, this will rub off on their audience, and that's why you see a lot of them don't act alone. Fact 6. It encroaches into family time. There's always a price to pay for fame, and for social media stars, it's that personal family and friend time. Being an influencer takes a lot of energy, and with the sounds of messages that pour in daily, there is little to no time left to respond to family and friends. Even their messages can get lost under the pile that comes in every hour. So as a social media influencer, the money comes in, and there are all other advantages that come with fame. But the price to pay is that close relationships suffer. Sure, there may be a way to work around this, but it doesn't always work out. Fact 5. People waiting to do you favors. Everyone wants to associate with a famous person. It's no different with social media influencers. The ones that are not so careful end up being used by people. This means that you could see them featured on everybody's ventures, being interviewed on every podcast, or even attending every event. To those people, associating with social media stars is a big deal, but it's not so good for the influencers. Getting involved in every favor takes away time from their personal plans, and they never have time for themselves. Fact 4. Online attacks are a big thing. No matter how nice you are as a social media influencer, there will always be someone or several people who find pleasure in viciously attacking you. And that's a fact. People can be really mean online, especially when there are dozens of them coming for you in the comments of your social media posts. There's a new trend where people will go as far as calling out their employers or writing to brands to withdraw endorsements. No matter how much thick skin these influencers have, it could get nasty, and there's a sinking feeling like the world is against you. The attacks are guaranteed to come in. Fact 3. Every influencer has done a free job. No matter how big a social media influencer is right now, they have definitely done a free job, at least once in the course of their online career. This is very common with locations, a really great hotel or a clothing store. These influencers can talk a lot online about how fantastic this hotel is, and in exchange won't pay if any fee for about 2 days. It's also the same with clothing stores where they take lots of pictures of their clothes and get to keep them. We could call this a collaborative effort, where there is an exchange of value between an influencer and a brand. Fact 2. It's not always their full-time job. Becoming a full-time social media influencer is no easy task. So a lot of these times, these stars who may be in the lifestyle, fashion, or beauty industry actually have a day job that no one knows about. Not everyone is able to live that nomadic influencer life, so the online gig is strictly a side hustle, especially when starting up. Since it takes a while to achieve a high ranking as an influencer, people are working hard at their corporate jobs, and you don't get to see that part online. So think about that before you start comparing yourself to them. Fact 1. They don't always wait for brands to reach out first. We are made to believe that as long as you have millions of followers as an influencer, brands would automatically come knocking with endorsements and collaboration offers. That's not the reality. Influencers also pitch to these brands rather than sitting and waiting for their pitches. Most successful social media stars reach out to brands to discuss new ideas, even consulting. We only see the results where they post their pretty content or fun pictures. But a lot has happened on the negotiation table. So chances are that big brands working with your favorite influencers didn't reach out first. Now you know some interesting facts about influencers that will blow your mind. And that's a wrap. Did you like this video? Well, we're always posting amazing content like this, so don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you don't miss out. Thanks for watching.